So git project. Why is this not okay? Okay, so in this channel we always go through the resources and then go through the quiz and then go to the task. So we have 5 resources here, and then you should be able to answer all these questions. And then these are the requirements, things you need for the project, things you need to know. At the end of the project, you should be able to reproduce and understand this. So when you have these commands, all these commands, you should be able to understand them at the end of this task or project. So we have variety of quiz. Oh, just 2 quiz, just 2 questions. That's quite nice. So let's go through the 5 resources. So the first one is resources to learn Git. The network is fluctuating today. I know what's wrong. And okay, so to set up Git, Git is an external application or platform. It's here, the Git. I logged in my account. I'm very sure by now you've created your Git account or GitHub account. So at the heart of GitHub is an open source version control called Git. Git is responsible for everything GitHub related that happens locally to your computer. So what is Git? So using Git, to use Git on the command line, you will need to download, install and configure Git to your computer. You can also install Git CLI to use GitHub from the command line for more information. If you want to work with Git locally, do not want to use the command line, you can download and install Git desktop client for more information. See installing blah blah blah. So there's a Git desktop kind of app that you can use if you don't want to use your you don't want to work with Git locally. So if you do not need to work with files locally, GitHub lets you completely make Git related actions directly on your browser. Let me just explain GitHub and Git everything in a nutshell. Basically, GitHub is just a platform where you can save all your files, collaborate with other people, let them see your codes and stuff like that. For example, let's say I write this is a code that I just typed, and I want to save it somewhere where other programmers can see and collaborate with me, probably edit a mistake I made and all those stuff. So Git will just do that for you. Okay, so all this grammar, I know it's going to sound absurd at first. We'll now open next things that we are not told to open. So if you want to download and install the latest Git, you can do that, but for me I prefer the browser Git. Set your username in Git, set your commit email in Git. This is how to set your username, to set your commit email, but we don't need that now. Just read the page. When you connect to a GitHub repository is just like a folder, like a directory, okay, where you can save all those your documents, just like you would on the shell. Okay, so note, you cannot when you connect to a GitHub repository from Git, you will need to authenticate with GitHub using either HTTP or SSH. So if you want to connect that your repository to your shell where you are typing, if you want to connect what you just typed to that folder, so that you can save them. You have to use HTTP or SSH. You get, so GitHub will provide this tool for you. So you can authenticate to GitHub using GitHub CLI for either HTTP or blah blah blah. So this is how to connect with HTTP. If you clone with HTTPS, you can catch your GitHub credential in Git using a credential helper. For more information, see this. We are not going to open anything for now because I don't want to bombard your head with so many information. Connecting over SSH. So if you are using SSH, if you clone with SSH, you must generate SSH key. So if you want to do this one, you generate SSH key on each computer you use to push or pull from GitHub. So the thing is, if I type all my code, I push is when you upload it to GitHub, and pull is probably your file on GitHub. You want to draw it to another computer or to your present computer, you can. That's what they call as pull. Okay, so you're pulling it from GitHub or you're pushing it to GitHub. So for more information about remote repository and generating a new SSH key, so if you want to do this SSH process, you have to generate an SSH key. And if you are using the HTTP, you can catch your GitHub credential in Git using the credential helper. For more information to see this. Okay, so that's the two ways. You can just read more about that, watch a YouTube video on that. So you now have Git and GitHub all set up. You may now choose to create a repository. Like I said, repository is just like a folder where you can put your project. Saving your code in a repository allow you to back up your code and share it around the world, just like I've explained. Creating a repository for your project allow you to store code in GitHub, so you can store your code in that repository called folder. This provides a backup of your work with that you can choose to share with other developers for more information. Forking. So this is what creating a repository means. So forking a repository will allow you to make changes to another repository without affecting the original. For more information, so when they say fork a repository, let's say someone has a folder already and you want to contribute to what the person has written without changing it here. So fork will just pull it out in a separate place and make your own changes. Okay, so you have the original and then the one you've changed to. Okay, so each repository on GitHub is owned by a person or an organization. You can interact with the people, repository and organization by connecting the following and following them on GitHub. So you can follow them and connect with them to interact with their repositories. Okay, so GitHub has a great support community where you can ask for help and talk to people from around the world. Join the conversation on GitHub community. So that's all. We won't go too details into that, but I think you understand a bit, even if not all of this. So let's close this and go to. So what are readmes? Okay, what are readmes? So about readmes, you can add a readme file. So when you create that folder, there's going to be a file inside that folder called a readme file. Okay, there's nothing special about readme. It's just like an empty file, like a text file where you just input random text, and this random text will just tell anybody that opened that folder about that folder. So you can, maybe you are coding how to build, you are building an Instagram app, and you want to store all the code inside that folder. Let's say this is a folder and you store all your code here. You add a readme telling them that, oh, this is the project I'm working on, and it's about Instagram. The first code talks about the header files, the other code talks about the interactions between users and blah 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 and blah blah blah. So I hope you understand that. So you can add a readme file to your repository to tell other people why your project is useful, what they can do with your project, and how they can use it. So it's just an information file about your repository or folder. Okay, so About README, you can add a README file to a repository to communicate important information about your project. A README, along with a repository license, citation file, contribution guideline, and a code of conduct, communicate expectations for your project and help you manage contribution. For more information about providing guidelines for your project, see adding a code of conduct to your project and setting up your blah 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 your project for healthy contribution. A README is often the first item a visitor will see when visiting your repository, because as I said, it will what does it will include the information of what your project does, why the project is useful, the rain is falling. So let me hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. So it tells about what the project does, why the project is useful, how users can get started with the project, where users can get help with your project, who maintains and contributes to your project. Okay, so if you put your README file in your repository, eden.github root or docs directory, GitHub will recognize and automatically surface your README to repository visitor. So if your README file is Eden, anyone with this dot means that it is an Eden file, right? So if you do that, GitHub will recognize and automatically surface your README to repository visitor. So it will bring it out automatically so that people can see. So if a repository contains more than one README file, then the file shown is chosen from location in the following order. So if you have more than two, the .github directory, then the repository root directory, and finally the docs directory. So that's that. And if you add a README file to the root of a public repository, again, if you add a README file to the root of a public repository with the same name as your username, that README will automatically appear on your profile page. Okay, so if you have a README file with, if you add it with the same name as your username, it will show on your profile. You can edit your profile README with GitHub flavored markdown to create a personalized section on your profile. For example, say this. So you can click on that to read it. We're not going to click on any external for now. Auto-generated table of content for README file. So for the rendered view of any markdown file in a repository, including README files, GitHub will automatically generate a table of content based on section heading. You can view the table of content of a README file by clicking the menu icon at the top left of the rendered page. Okay, so section links in README file and blog pages. You can link directly to a section in a rendered file by hovering over the section heading to expose. So you can link directly to a section in a rendered file. So this, I think this is a link. So it's telling you that you can link directly to a section in a rendered file by hovering over the section heading to expose. So when you to expose this, so if you have this how do I science and you over it, then you are going to see this link to access what is in. Relative link and image path in README file. You can define relative links and image paths in your render file to help readers navigate to other files in your repo. I call it repo or repository, right? So a relative link is a link that is related to the current file. For example, if you have a README file in root of your repository that's inside your repository, right, and you have another file in docs contributing.md, the relative link to contributing.md in your README might look like this. Contribution guideline for this project. So if there is a link between inside your readme, and you have this something about this stuff, and you have this one outside your readme, there might be a relative link outside that directs them to the readme. Okay, so GitHub will automatically transform your relative link or image path based on whatever branch you're currently on, so that the link or pathway always works. The parts of the link will be related to, these are just the some other functions of readme. Links related to the current file. Link starts with dash will be related to the repository root. You can use all relative link operands such as dot slash and dot slash. Sorry about that noise. Okay, so relative links are easier for users who clone your repository. So a relative link are easier for users who clone your repository. Absolute link may not work in clone of your repository. We recommend using relative link to refer to other files within your repository. So there are absolute link and there are relative link. Relative link, so you should read on that a bit as well. So readme, like I said, is just to tell more about the project, the repository, or your project you are currently working on. A readme should contain only the necessary information for developers to get started using and contributing to your project. Longer documentation is best suited for wikis. For more information, see about wikis. And that's all for that. So let's just close it. You can just read it one more time and then it will sink in. How to write a git commit message. So okay, so there's something they call git commit as well, apart from readme. So comment, let's see, write a git commit message. Why git commit message matter? So if you browse the log of any random git repository, you will probably find its commit message. So if you are, let's say we have a our GitHub like this, so let's pick for someone's, let's just say tech. Let's see, there should be someone named tech, and then it pops up. So this is a repository. Look at the readme file. This readme, if you click on it, it will tell us more about the project. Programming database, a database, what, and so I don't know, it's written in Chinese, blah blah blah. So we have other this is a repository, this is under repository. No, this is a repository. Wait, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, so look at what the guy did. These are different repositories, right? And then outside it has a readme. So when you click on this repository, it has a readme, Alibaba's branch of MySQL. I think this person is a coder for Alibaba Express. So it has a readme file, and inside the readme it has commit message. A commit message will tell updates about what is inside this file. So if there's a file, this is a file, right? Add files via upload. This one will add file. It will give you information about the file. You know, readme is telling you about all the files inside, but a commit message will tell you an update about the particular file. Okay, so you have to know how to write that message, that okay, this one cannot be updated readme. That's, you have updated what the readme is about. If this file is an header file, you can say updated header file that has a more robust, colorful and entertaining view. You understand? So that's a commit message. So writing a good commit message is necessary. So if you want to write commit message, if you browse the log of any random git repository, okay, so if you browse the log of any random Git repository, you will probably find its commit message um, are more or less a mess. For example, take a look at these gems for my early days commit to Spring. So I don't want to waste time. I've already explained what commit message is. What is this person doing here? Okay, don't worry, I will show you how to do a commit message anyway. So okay, I think he's trying to say the commit message he makes before is way bad than the more recent commit message. Let's just look at this more recent ones. Okay, fix failing composite property source. So this I think the code was having a failed composite property source. So this one is fixed. He has fixed it. That's the commit message he gave it. So let's go back to that old one and see the jargons he was writing before. So let's see. We're adding configuration post processor test after its brief removal. It's not quite the jargons I was expecting, but fix to build. It's still okay. It's still okay. They're still nice commit message. So basically, that's which would you rather read? The former varies in length and forms. The data is concise and consistent. You see, so the former is what happened by default. The later happens by accident. While many repository log like the former, there are exceptions. The Linux kernel and Git itself are great example. Look at Spring Boot or any repository managed by Team Pope. The contributors to this repository know that a well-crafted Git commit message is the best way to communicate context about a change to fellow developers. So a difference will tell you what's changed, but only the commit message can properly tell you why. Okay, so if you make a difference to a code, you will see that the code has been updated, but just looking at it you might not know what has been changed. But a good commit message will properly tell you why that code has been changed. You understand? So this person made the point. Reestablishing the context of a piece of code is wasteful. You can't avoid it completely, so our efforts should go to reducing it as possible. Commit message can do exactly that, and as a result, a commit message shows whether a developer is a good collaborator. So if you haven't given much thought to what makes a great Git commit message, it may be the case that you haven't spent much time using Git log and related tools. This is vicious cycle here, because the commit history is unstructured and inconsistent. Okay, so let me just zoom in a bit. And inconsistent, but a well cared for log is beautiful using things give them without blah 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 blah. So this stuff is quite long. Reviewing others commit and pull requests becomes something worth doing, and suddenly can be done independently. Understanding why something happened months or years ago becomes not only possible but efficient. A project, this one is just talking more about the commit message, why it is useful. So a project long-term success rests on its maintainability, and a maintainer has few tools more powerful than its project log. It's worth taking the time to learn how to care for one properly. What may be a hassle at first soon become habit, and eventually a source of pride and productivity for all involved. In this post, I am addressing just the most basic elements of taking a healthy commit history. How to write an individual commit message. There are other important practices like commit squashing that I am not addressing here. Perhaps I'll do that in a subsequent post. Most programming language have been established. This is still just talking about the good things about commits. Conventions as to what constitutes idiomatic style, naming, formatting, and so on. There are various on these conventions, of course, but most developers agree that picking one and sticking to it is far better than the chaos that ensues when everybody does their own thing. A team approach to its commit log should be no different in order to create a useful version history. Teams should first agree on a commit message convention that defines at least the following three things: markup syntax, wrap margins, grammar, capitalization, punctuation, spell these things out, remove the guesswork, and make it all as simple as possible. The end result will be a remarkably consistent log that's not only a pleasure to read but that actually gets read on a regular basis. So content, what kind of information should the body of the commit message contain? What should it not contain? Metadata, how should issue tracking, blah 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 blah. Fortunately, there are well established conventions as to what makes an idiomatic git commit message. Indeed, many of them are assumed in the way in the way certain git command function. There is nothing you need to reinvent. Just follow the 7 rules below and you are on your way to committing like a pro. So the 7 rules of a great commit message. Keep in mind, this has been said before. Separate subject from body with a blank line. Limit the subject line to 50 characters. Capitalize the subject line. Do not end the subject line with a period. Use the imperative mood in the subject line. Wrap the body at 72 characters. Use the body to explain what and why versus how. For example, summarize changes in around 50 characters or less. So let's go down. Separate subject from body with a blank line. So they are explaining all these things. So you should just go through them. Limit the subject line to 50. So they explain all the stops. Use the body to explain why versus how. All these things are not that too necessary. I don't know why they have to go through all this. We could get okay. I think that will be all. So just go through these 7 benefits or 7 things that you need to know to create a good commit message. Use the body to explain why and why. So the commit message from Bitcoin Core is a great example of explaining what changed and why. So commit, I think this is commit. The author did simply blah blah blah. So they gave you an illustration of a project and the commit message, so you can understand how all these things are being done. Okay, I won't go too complex into that. So let's go. So learning branching. So there is something we call branching as well. So this one is kind of complicated, not quite complicated, I mean the website. So interested in learning Git? Well, you've come to the right place. Learn Git branching is the most visual and interactive way to learn Git on the web. You will be challenged with exciting level, given step-by-step demonstration of powerful features, and maybe even have a bit of fun along the way. After this dialogue, you will see the variety of levels we have to offer. If you are a beginner, just go ahead and start with the first. If you already know some Git basics, try some of our later more challenging levels. You can see all the commands available with slow commands at the terminal. So this one is for your information. Want to go straight to a sandbox next time, try out this specially. We have our own sandbox. Thank you. GitHub has started making the default branch main instead of master. So before, the default branch used to be master, but now it is main, to migrate away from biased terminology. uh, in accordance with this industry wide movement, we have also updated or learned Git branching to use main instead of master in our lesson. This rename should be fairly consistent by now, but if you notice by any errors, feel free to submit a PR or even an issue. Okay, next thing. Introduction to Git commits. Okay, 1. A commit is a commit in a Git repository record a snapshot of all the tracked files in your directory. It's like a giant copy and paste, but even better. We've talked about Git commit, but Git wants to keep commits as a lightweight as possible. True. So this one is quite lengthy because where is it? Why did we just go? Should we just refresh it? Let's refresh the page. Okay. Git branching. Yes. Moving around a mix. Blah, blah, blah. I think you have to read all these things step by step. Okay, I think this is what we're supposed to branch in Git. Incredibly lightweight as well. They are highly these Git branches now. Let's see what's next. Git branch image. Let's see what branch looks like in practice. Here we will create a new branch named new image. Okay, so this is the main branch, Git branch, new image. Okay, that's all there is to branching. The branching remain now refers to a commit scene. Let's try to put some work on this new branch. Hit the button below. Oh no, the main branch moved by the new image branch, didn't it? That's why we went on the new branch, which is why asterisk was on main. Okay, okay, let's continue. I think you need to just practice. Let's start the Git we want to check out the branch with. This will put us on the new branch before committing our changes. Git checkout new image, Git commit. Okay. Majorly, what I understood about branch is okay. In Git version, a new command Git switch was introduced to eventually replace Git checkout. So instead of Git checkout, Git switch should be used. So you should get used to it, which is somewhat overloaded. Blah blah blah. Checkout instead of switch, and then because the switch command is still considered experimental. Okay, let's just quit this because it's just making it complicated for us. And effective pull requests and other good practices for team using GitHub. So if you are using GitHub, you need to know how to do a Git pull. This is quite lengthy as well. Effective. So you should just go through this project. I will just go through it as fast as I can. I work at an emergency where we pay $200 a month to GitHub for their platinum plan. These all these things are stories. I don't like them. This article is a summary of an internal talk I gave on making the most of our subscription. There is nothing original here. It's just a collection of tips that I've harvested over the last few years. I'm publishing this article mainly so I have something to refer future employees to. Use pull requests. Pull requests are an excellent tool for fostering code review. If you are using Git for team projects, you should be using this extensively. Many people don't realize that you can make pull requests between two branches of the same repository, the so-called shared repository model for team. So basically, we need to understand Git branches, right? I think that's the major thing that we need to do. Okay. So in Git, branches are a part of your everyday development. Git branches are effectively a pointer to a snapshot of your changes. Okay. So, for example, what I understand about branches is this is a master. Okay, I think this one will help us. So this is the master piece, Abby, right? So you can be working editing this masterpiece, right? Editing, right? This is still the masterpiece going. You are working on your own. Someone else is working. Then you merge the your own work with this. You commit it and merge it with the master, which is the main now, and then the person also merges his own work with the master, so your code doesn't interfere with each other. I think that's basically it, but if I see a better explanation, I would share. Okay, I think all the diagrams are almost the same thing. So let's go back to where we're coming from, which is the pull request. The checkout. Remember, checkout is now switch now. It's switch. Create a new branch. So you should just read through this repository. I won't really go through it like that. Push. Okay, so just go through this one. So let's just go attend the task. Okay, so the following, you have the following files on your project directory. Let's say these four files are on your shell that you created, right? You've edited old text and you want to add it to your GitHub repository. What is the correct command to only add old text? So to add it, you do git add and the file name. Okay, git add and file name. Git add dot will add everything inside. Okay, git add and the file name. So what command can you use to see what changes have been tagged, which haven't, and which files aren't being tracked by Git? I think that should be Git status. I'm not sure. So let's try it. If it's wrong, oh, we are correct. So Git status to tell you the status of is a quite simple English. So let's just go through these tasks, and you guys should please ensure that you read through the resources. I don't have enough time to go through them thoroughly. So, but in our subsequent videos, we will always try and go through all the tasks as far as we can. Create and set up your Git and GitHub account. We've already done that here. So create, you will need a GitHub account for all your projects at ALX. If you do not already have a GitHub account, create it here. Number one, create a personal access token on GitHub. To have access token on GitHub and authenticate yourself, you need to create a personal access token on GitHub. You can follow this tutorial to create as personal access. Once it's created, you should have a token that looks like this. So this is your personal access token. Okay, so I'll show you how to create that. Step 2. So let's quickly do step 1. To create personal access token, go to your profile. Okay, then go to your settings, then come down here, come down to developer settings, then click on personal access token, click on classic, and then generate new token, classic. What's the name? You can give it, for me let's just call it ALX. Expiration, the token will expire, no expiration for the token, to help keep your information secure. So let's just give it, since we are using 1 year ALX, let me just give it a year. May 30, 2024. Must value must be 0529. Okay, no problem. Is it okay? Scope define the, okay, so let's just check all this. I just check everything. So the access token will give us access to all these things. We'll be able to do all this stuff, delete package, admin, notifications, delete repo, to be able to delete repository and all that stuff. Then generate token. Okay, so get your access token, copy it. So once you copy it, this thing should be actually secure. Make sure you copy the code. I've already copied it. So where's my notepad? So I'll just paste it there and save it there, because we'll not be able to see it anymore. Okay, or let's just still paste it here. Okay, so I'll have to generate another one so that any other person will not be able to use this one. But for this tutorial, we use that as our access token. Once we've generated that, don't forget it's here. So step 2, update your profile on the intranet. Update your profile, Twitter, GitHub username. I've already done this, so put your GitHub account here. And 3, create your first repository using the graphic interface on GitHub website. Create your first repository. So name ALX_precourse. So you have to create a repository. Go to this, go to your profile now. Okay, so you can just do like this, your repository, and then a new one, right? A new repository. Okay, so what do they say? Create a first repository. So I'll just copy this guy, copy, come here, paste here. Description, we are given a description, right? So the description, copy the description, copy. So this is basically how to create a repository. Let me just drag this down here since we're using this thing. Okay, so it should be public, right? public repo, no readme, no .gitmo or license. So you should not have something like this as we've seen. No readme, no this one. And then for open the sandbox, so then you create, right? No license, create repository. So now we have a repository. So if okay, we are already inside our repository. So the next thing is on the intranet, under the tags, click on the sandbox and run and start the machine. Click on web time. You should know how to do this, but if you don't, let me just open a copy of this. Open the new tab. Then we can just zoom out. Sorry. Then let me zoom out now. So these are our sandbox. You have to come here and click on this web 10. Okay, so let me just zoom in back. Okay, good. So let me reduce the bit. No, let's go back a bit. Okay, good. So what's going on with you? Well, we're done with you. Okay, so we've opened our sandbox, and what's next? I didn't tell all of it to become so big. So let me do this one more time. So once you open your webcam, clone your repository. Now we've created a repository here, right? So we want to clone it. We want to put this folder on our shell, okay, so that anything we do inside the folder, it can appear here. Okay, so we want to pull that folder. I want to pull it here, so anything we put inside it can appear. So clone your repository on the web term of the sandbox. Do the following: clone your repository. That's what we call clone. So you say git clone. So we can use the HTTP, or we can use the HSS, or what's it called? So this is the HTTP, right? And this is the SSH rather. Okay, so we have the SSH and we have HTTP. So now they are using the HTTP method. So the HTTP method requires you to write git clone first and HTTP // just like it's here, HTTP // git. So let's just copy this. As you copy man. I'm not sure if that's copy. Supposed to write copy. Okay, so git clone HTTP your personal access token. Okay, so we'll come here, then write git caps git clone, right? So let me just paste what I copied, HTTPS // right? And then your personal access token at github.com. So where is it? Personal access token is here. Copy it. Don't forget. So yeah, I'll just paste my personal access token and then add the at github.com, right? And then / your username / your repository name. So let's see if that's what we were told. At username / repository name. That's it. Then you press enter. You should write cloning into this. We appear to have cloned an empty repository because it's empty, of course. So let's press our come down. Enter. Cloning, when you appear to, then we are good, right? So if I do ls to list all the files, you see that I have my repository here. Okay, so uh, replace your personal token. We've done that. Replace your username. We've done that because we've copied that one. So on Windows, use Ctrl A plus B to paste in the web terminal. Ctrl A V to paste. Okay, so I use Ctrl Shift V to paste. Create the README. So you have to create a README for this repository. So to create it, we have to go inside it. So we have to cd into the ALX precourse. Okay, so we are inside already. So there's nothing inside. So you have to create a repository, a README file. So creating the readme.md and push the so navigate to the repository directory. That's what they say. These are the tips. cd ALX because we are there. That's me. Create the readme with the content my first readme. So your readme should have my first readme. Okay. So they've already given you a way to do that. A readme file is called readme.md. So you can just echo my first readme. When you echo it, echo this word, my first readme. If you use one greater than sign, it will overwrite everything that is inside. You can also use Emacs to do all these things. So me, I won't do that. I will just say my first readme is what you want to write. So second method of doing it. Let's work like a tech person. Emacs. So the name of the readme is readme.md. That's you press enter. Then we have that. Then we have my first readme. Right? Is that what we're supposed to write? I want to be sure. Okay, good. So what is it? The command Control X, Control C, I guess. Control S, Control C. Is that it? Oh my god. You can't override this. We need that. Exit. So you should just come. Exit file in Emacs. Or is Control C, Control X? Control, yes, now Control X followed by Control C. Why is it not closing? Control X, Control C. What's going on? Control H. Type Y to save and to the current buffer. Yeah, Y. Yeah, okay, I've done that. Okay, so if we check what is inside our readme file, we see that we have my first readme. Why is it writing root again? Cat. Okay, let's do and the one I want to overdo now. And now we're in problem. Okay, Control X, Control C. It worked. Okay, I think that's it. And then once you are done, you have to push it so it will enter the GitHub because it's just on our local machine, right? So you can use this command as well. If I still use this command, it will still work. It will overwrite anything that is inside and still so ls cat readme my first read. Okay, I think this one works better. So let's clear it. Clear. Sorry, clear. Okay, so we are done with that. So my first readme is done. Update your Git identity, add this new. So add this new file to Git commit. Okay, update your Git identity. So you do this, your Git identity, update it. So copy inside the repository. So you do git config global email and put your email address. So I have to attach my keyboard, external keyboard to it. Okay, so we've done that. Let's clear it. So then we can add our git config username global. So username is okay, we've done that too. You can clear it and then add this new file to the git commit change with the message my commit, my first commit, and push to the remote server. So now we are, because you know the readme file has to have the commit message, so now we want to add the commit message. So to add the commit message, we first say git add everything in the is either you say git add this or git add readme, because the readme file is the only one there, but this one would add everything in the repository because it's only the readme as well, so we can use this one. And then you want to commit, you say git commit dash n. Okay, so you can use the double quote or single quote. Okay, so the double quote is very handy. I'll tell you there are difference in when you can use them. So you write it my first read. Oh, sorry, git commit. Yeah, git commit my first commit. They use single, but let me use double. My first commit. Okay, and then you press enter. It will still work. The master, my first commit, one file change, one insertion, create mode, blah blah blah. So when you go here, can you see almost same thing. Warning, counting object 100%. Do we have all this? No, we don't. Ours doesn't. We stopped somewhere around, okay, here, right? So you now do git push. Okay, so you do git push. So git push. Okay, so it will give you all this thing. So automatically we should have, let's refresh this place. You see our readme file is already showing on our GitHub. Okay, so let us clear. So we've learned how to commit and how to push. You push your first blah 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 blah. You can now check your repository on GitHub to see if everything is good, and everything is good. So we have a GitHub repository, and inside the file we have readme that's empty. So that's it. So if I say go to your repositories, you see that I have one already. So if I click on it, you see that I have a file inside, which is the readme file. So this is the commit message, my first commit, and then the file says my first readme. Okay, so let's check it. So those resources, the only thing I think you should check is the branching. Understand branching very well. But the rest I think I've explained. That's the commit, the readme, the pull, the push, the forking. Those are the concepts that you just need to know for now. Repo section, create a new directory called, so we have to create a new directory called this in your precourse. So a directory inside this precourse repo. Make sure you include a non-empty readme in your directory. So what we have to do like this. So we are inside the directory already, right? So we'll make a directory called this, right? And then inside the directory, this is it. Okay, this is the directory over here. So we just cd inside the directory, and then we have to create a readme that is not empty. So we can just echo something inside the readme. Echo this tells this is my first directory. This is my second. This is my second, right? Because I think it's actually my first directory on Git. So sorry. Then we'll pass it into our readme.md and then press enter. When we list it, see we have our readme. When we check what is inside, this is my first readme directory. So that should be done, and in the directory. Okay. So let's check the code next. Okay, we have some error, right? It says directory 0 exists in missing OX01 kits. So wait, are we not doing it right? Let's see. Create a new directory called OX01 in your ALX precourse repo. Yes, I think that's what it is. ALX precourse, and this is the directory. Okay. And okay, we haven't git push, git add. Let's git add everything, and git commit message should be this one will be my first directory, right? And let's take that away, and then git push. Sorry, my P didn't press. Push. Okay, so we are done with that. So all we need to do is check your code, start test, and congratulations, we're done. So the next one is, for the moment we have an empty project directory containing only a readme.md. It's time to code. So for the moment we have an empty directory containing you're really trying to go. So inside this, okay, so this one is telling you that we have an empty directory, project directory that contains everything. So inside this directory now, create these directories at the root of the directory. So create this empty file. So we have to create this directory bash c and js. Okay, so let us clear it. Make directory bash c js. Let's see, I think this should work. Bash c js. Let's see if this will work. So let's list it. So we have the 3 directories inside already. And then create these empty files inside the c. C is fun. Okay, so a file. So can we do that like this? There are 2 ways to do it. So we can just create touch. Okay, let's just do it this way. Let's cd into c, right? So cd into c. So we are inside the c, and then let us create c is fun. So when we list it, we have the c is fun inside c, right? So inside js we'll do main.js. Okay, so copy inside js, so we'll cd outside, and inside js we'll cd into js, and then we'll say touch main.js. So when we list it, we have it there. Let's clear it. Cd outside back, and still inside this inside js too. Again, we have index.js. So the command to go to the previous directory is cd dash, and we are inside js back. So we can just touch index.js, list it, then clear, then go back to create a file /ALX. Okay, create a file called bash/ALX with create a file ALX inside this bash, right, with 2 lines inside. So the first line will be bin/bash, and the second line will be echo ALX. So create a file bash school with, so all the files should be like this. See, so we are going to look for, we are going to create this file ALX inside this bash, I guess. Add all these new files to git, commit your changes, message, blah blah blah. So to do that, let's see what we can do if it will work. Cd out. Okay, we have bash here already. Thank God. I was wondering where we see this bash. Okay, good. So what we'll do now is we enter this bash, create ALX, right? So enter this bash, cd into bash. We are already into bash, and then we create ALX, and then we have our ALX, right? Then you can echo. What's the first word? I'll use echo. I'll use VI. I'm supposed to use VI and Emacs, but let's just use Echo and VI. So the next one, in another one, we can talk about how to use Emacs very well, because I've already used Emacs once before here. So you can do like this. Okay, let's use, I love using my double quotes. And then use your 2 arrow keys into your ALX. So what you are telling, you should put this word into ALX, because I know that there's nothing inside ALX. This double quote means you should, okay, let's use single quote for example. So this single quote means that this single greater than sign means that if there's anything, you should delete everything and just put only this thing inside. Okay, so when I press enter, oh, there's something wrong. Let me use my single quotes back. Echo Control V / okay, I know what's wrong. Sorry guys, I know what's wrong, because this slash act as an escape. So I think I might need to put this, yeah, or a double quote, yeah. So what this backslash means, an escape. So to cancel the escape, I'm adding one extra dot. So when we cut what is inside the ALX, you see that we have it without the escape. So all this is an escape key, and adding the quotes, single quotes, would negate the power of this. Okay, so that's what I did here. So secondly, they said inside it we should have a code that says echo ALX on the second line. Okay, so to do that, what I will do is I'll do echo as well, and then let's echo this, echo ALX. So don't forget, this one has double quotes, right? So because it has double quotes, I'll use double quote as well first, and then I'll use backslash to cancel its own personal double quote. So backslash, sorry, my keyboard. Okay, so because I don't want it to override this beans bash, okay, so I'll use this one that don't overwrite what you see, just append this one to it, and then that should work. So let us see what is inside our ALX, and we can see that we have the two inside, the first one, the second one. So let us clear it, and let us go here and create a file called school inside, and then bin bash echo school. Okay, so let me just copy this. School, right? Touch. I can even just do echo straight. Echo. Where is it? Echo bin bash into what? School. Echo this into school, right? This should work first, and then echo my previous command. You use the arrow up key to navigate to your previous command. Echo, what's the second command? Echo school, right? So that ALX will be school, this one will be school, and this one as well will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Y. Is in caps lock, small letter. This one is capital letter, I guess. Yeah, something like this. And enter. So when we cut school, you see we have it there. You can do LS, ALX and school with the 2 files there. Okay. Echo school is this one. Echo school. It doesn't have double slash. What did I just press? Look at me. Okay, let us use VI to open the school file. Echo. To insert, to change this one, I can press O. I press A. A key. It's already in insert mode. There's a way to change it. Anyway, and then press your escape key. Then X. So when we cut school, yeah, we have the echo school. Echo school. Echo ALX. Let's check again if this one is correct. Cut ALX. Oh, this one too is not correct. Sorry, guys. Yeah, ALX. Press your I. Come down. Delete. Come down. Delete. Press your escape. Press your double colon. Press your X. Exit. So when you do cut ALX, it should be correct. Correct. Wait, we have quotation mark. Jeez. Cut ALX. Yeah, ALX. We can press our A and then quotation mark. Okay. I use the W key. Oh, sorry. Escape key, double quotes, X, VI school. I, double quotes, and double quotes. Escape key, double colon, W key. Okay, good. So after that, add all files, all the new files to Git. Commit your message. Commit message starting to code today. So your commit message should be like this and push. So clear. Git add everything. Did we work on bash or true? Let me see. We work on everything. So what I'll do is I'll cd outside. So we can be here because we have all these files we want to commit. So I'll say git add git commit -m. And what is our commit message? So anytime I want to use this one, see, I think is this forward slash. I think is this forward slash that I was supposed to use instead of backslash. And then I'll come here. I want to try it. It should have that code with it. see this one will work. Starting to commit this, okay, it worked, but it has this extra bullet. So to remove this one, let me recommit it. To remove this one, let's just do like this and see. I'm not sure this will work. Or let's just remove everything for now. I can't remember how this works. Sorry. So let's do git add again. Why is it writing on this watch? Clear? Okay, I know why it's that. I know why it's writing all this. I think the quote is different. You get. So that's why the quote is different. So we are correct. The backslash, the escape one, and then we have the backslash. The quote I copied is a different kind of quote. That is why. Yeah, so git, let's just push it. Git push. Okay, let's go and check if it's mark us right. Okay, so let's close it and go to the next one. Still have number 3. Write a branch is like a copy of your project. It's mainly used for adding a feature in development, collaborating on the same project with other developers, not breaking your entire reputation, not upsetting your co-workers. The purpose of a branch is to isolate your work from the main, okay, code based on your project and or from your co-workers. So to isolate your own work, like I said. For this project, create a branch update script, and in the branch create an empty file named bash98. Update bash ALX blah 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 blah. So we have to do this. So to do this, create an empty file named, for this project, create a branch update script, and in the branch create an empty file. So you want to, inside this project, you create a branch update script. So let's try git branch. I'm not sure it is branch, and then let's copy that command. Copy. I'm not sure if this command works. I don't use. Okay, I don't know if what I did is correct. Let's see. ls dash a. Okay, I don't know if we are ready into the branch already. So let's see. Create a branch in GitHub. So you should be friend with your system. On github.com, navigate to the main branch on terminal. To create git branch, new branch. Once created, you can use the git checkout new branch to switch to the branch. Okay, git checkout new branch. Okay, so we do git switch. No, checkout doesn't work again. So git switch to, what's the name of that branch again? Update script. Switch to branch update script. Okay, we are already here. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see. So create an empty file, bash 98. So let's seed into our bash and then create a file called 98. If we list it, we have our 98, right? Okay, good. So update bash ALX by replacing echo ALX with echo ALX code. Okay, so let's just vi into ALX. So echo ALX, press I to go to insert mode, capital letter school, escape, double quote, X, enter. Oh, sorry, I was in capital letter. Escape, double quote, X. Okay, good. So when we cut ALX, we see that it has been updated. Let's clear our screen. So what else? Create an empty. We've done this. Update school by using the school is open, right? The school is open. So we seed into the ls and then let's open our school and then I Ctrl Shift V. The school is open. Let's put something here. Sorry. Escape, double quote X. Okay, we've done that as well. Add the commit message, my personal work. Add it commit message. Personal work. So inside the update script we have it, right? And then we git push. I'm not sure if we are pushing, so let's check. Push this new branch. Let's see the tips. Pushing commit to a remote step. Use git push to push commit made on your local branch to your position. Let's see. To push to a remote, git push remote name / branch name. Is this what we're gonna do? So a branch name, for example, name, a remote name for origin, remote name, branch name. We push origin name to push a local entity online. So if we have a remote name, a branch name. So what did we create? We created a branch, right? Created a branch of this script. So if this branch main, it means the branch will be here. Remote name will be the name of the stuff, right? Git push. So what is we've gotten our branch name, which is update script, and then remote name, should it be origin? I think so. To rename a branch, you would use git push command, but you would add one more argument, the name of the new branch. For example, git push remote name, local branch name. You put the local branch name to the remote name. Remote name. So git push, what's our name, update, right? Update script, right? Let's try this. I've not tried this before, but let's try this. Origin of this script. Git push. Let's try origin. Okay. To create, okay, I think we are done actually. But let's see. We will create a pull request for update script on GitHub by using github.com. That's this. Okay. So let's go back to where we're coming from and let's push this one somewhere so it doesn't distract us. So that hopefully it has been isolated from the main branch. So, oh wait, your manager needs a quick fix in your project and it needs to be deployed now. Change the branch to main. Okay. Update the file. So we have to change it. No, it is in update script. So we change the file to main. Update the file to echo ALX and this one to ALX also. Update the file by replacing echo ALX with this one and delete the directory JS. Commit your message saying hotfix and push to the origin. So origin, they're correct. So what we do now is we migrate, change, right? Change to main. Create a new branch. So git check our new branch to git switch main, right? Let's try git switch main. Git switch main. So git switch to main. Okay, let's see. How to switch to main branch. Git checkout command and specify the name of the branch you want to switch to. Delete this to the name. Git switch. That's what I did. To origin. Let's try origin. clear git checkout. I don't know if we've switched here. But let's see on our GitHub and see the changes we've made so far. Okay. Git. Look at the commit message for these guys without this slash. So bad. Alright, so okay. I think this is the branch that we created, right? Okay, master update script. Okay, let's see this update script. Okay, it's called master. So master, let's try master. It's master. Switch to branch master. Your branch is up to date. To origin master. Okay, that's the command we're looking for. Clear. Sorry, clear. So it is master name. Okay. So now we are told to update the file. So bash ALX code. So we just change that ALX to ALX code. ALX so just delete an extra ALX. Escape. Q. And we're supposed to delete directory.js. So cd outside ls -js remove dash js. So when you list it, you don't have it anymore, right? And commit message hotfix. So for me, I like to see the outside. Right, inside commit message should be an hotfix. And then git push. Let's see what is happening. Okay, we just pass the test and then close. So we've learned and mastered the branching stuff. Let's refresh. Okay, good. So we don't have it. So if we go to the update script, still have the JS here. Can you see? It still has it. But if you go to the master does not. Let's fix. So I want to change this commit message of this C and the master to starting to code today. So cool. So let's see what I can do. I was not told to do that, but I just wanted to do that. Sorry. CD. What inside C is fine, nothing. Let's just add it. Commit. Because it's starting to go to this one. So we refresh it. Supposed to have changed. Good. So let's continue with our life. And let's go. Of course, you can also work on the same branch as your co-workers, and best if you keep up to date with their changes. For this task and only for this task, please update your readme file in the main branch from github.com. It's the only way you are allowed to update the commit from GitHub interface. This is the only time they want us to commit from, so we should update it from GitHub. So after you're done in your terminal, get all changes of your main branch locally. Your readme file will be updated. Create a new file up to date at the root of the direction with. Write the git command line used. Write the git command line, add up to date to git commit message. I want to be up to date on git and push to the origin. Okay, this sounds weird, but let's see. So of course, so the first thing you have to do is go to update your file readme in the main branch from github.com. So update it. So after you've done that, of course, you can collaboration. You can work on the same branch as your co-workers in that space. So let's go to GitHub and go to this readme to update this. I click on the edit. So second one, I was told to update this. And let's commit changes. Master, commit a new branch, commit the master. So told. Now we're showing two readmes. Or wait. We did it the main branch of the guitar. I'm sure, I hope it's not the other rhythm. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Let me delete this back. This is not the rhythm I'm supposed to touch. This is the rhythm I was supposed to touch. So let's go. So to get that, so after you've done that, get all the changes of your main branch your rhythm MD will get it. So let's get it. To do that, let's see the outside to the beginning of our repo, and then do gates. Ooh. You see, they say that we have added one changes to our readme into the master branch, right? So ls, if we cut what is on our readme, you see that our C2 update is there. Then let's clear, done that. Okay, directory. So create a new file up to date at the root of the directory, and it needs write git command line used. Okay, so we have to create a new directory, right? A new file up to date. Up to date. A new file. To create a new file, use touch. Right, and then inside it at the root of the directory. Yeah, we've done that at the root. This is the root of the directory. We've done that up to date, and then what should you do? Write the git command line used. Is it the one to create? Touch up to date. Add up to date to git. So let's just copy this. If we have to add it, let's use Emacs for example. Emacs up to date to write into it. So I did touch up to date, right? Control X, Control C. Why is Emacs always like this now? Control X, Control C. That's why I hate Emacs. If I cut it now, it's going to write rubbish. VI up to date. Oh, it's correct. It's correct. Let's quit it. LS. Why is there a to this is the power? This is what Emacs did. So let us remove this second up to date. Sure, there's no invisible things there. Okay, good. That's what I want. Okay, good. So we've done that. Write the git command line used. add up to date to Git, only up to date to Git, and commit to be up to date. So to do add that, I'll push to the origin. Git add up to date, Git commit -n, how to be up to date in Git. Let's use simple quotes this time, and then Git push. The P is not pressing up to origin. I've done that. So let's see. Okay, so let's see what's wrong. File up to date exists. And why is up to date not there? Missing up to date? Really? Okay, it doesn't have a readme. So up to date should have a readme. Let's list it. No, it's a file. Shouldn't have a readme, right? Or is it a directory we're told to create? Create a new file up to date at the root of the directory. Which of the directory? It should be the normal directory, ALX, because yes. ALX, oh, this is the directory you're supposed to create it. You're supposed to put this up to date inside this place. So let's use the move to up to date into -0x into 0x. Okay. So let's cd into this 0x. And let's see. We have our up to date there. So let's try again. Oh, sorry, we haven't Git push. So because of that, I'll have to Git push everything, because if we don't push everything, the one that was outside here before will still be there on GitHub. Okay, so I want to Git push all that is inside this, where is it? The main one. So let's see the dot. Yeah, Git push, Git add, sorry. Git add dot, Git commit, -n, and you should have, what's that commit message? To be updated Git, right? And then Git. So it shows that we've deleted that one and we've inserted that one. Okay. Okay. Git push. Master that we're supposed to push it to the open master, like correct. And then let's try it again. Okay, maybe the code. No, it's going to say the code is wrong. the content, right? Up to date. Up to date doesn't contain git pull. Okay, so it's git pull. So you should, okay, I think it's saying not the code we used to create this up to date, but the code we used to do this. So all we do is go back to up to date. See this dash 0. Why is this guy not doing more up to date? Yeah, up to date. So we want git pull. What's wrong with me? Yeah, that's good. Good. Git add dot delete commit this git push this. So now let's try. Okay, good. Close. So now go to the advanced task. And then we have how many tabs there? 2. So say number 5. What do you do? So collaboration is cool, but not really when you update the same file at the same time. To illustrate that, please map the branch up to update script to me. Cool, all my changes will be now part of the main branch, ready to be deployed. I think this will be the commit message. As you can see, you have conflicts between 2 branches on the same file. Your goal now is to resolve conflict by using the version of the branch update script and push the result to the origin. At the end, you should have all your work from the branch update script, new file, 2 updated file, and all latest main comments, new files, and folders, all conflicts. So what this place is telling us now is that collaboration is cool. We know we have our update script, right? And we have our main, which is the master or the origin. So now things that are here are not here anymore, or things that are here are not here anymore rather. So if you want to merge them together, there will be conflicts. Okay, so conflict want to merge conflict in bash. So update script. So let us just see to merge 2 branches. Git. Use git checkout to switch to the branch you want to merge into. This branch is already the main branch. Then now use git merge and simplify the name of the other branch you wish. Okay, so it's simple as that. So let's clear this. We are already in the master, so let's say git merge update script, right? Just want to be sure. Update script. Yes, enter. Merge conflict in bash automatically. Then commit the results. You see? I think that's what it's saying now. You see, you have conflict between, your goal is now to resolve the conflict by using the version of the update script and push the result to the origin. So at the end, you should have your work from the update scripts and all latest main commits. So we are supposed to resolve the conflict. So let's just use um, our this guy to resolve the conflicts. Copy and then so removing match conflict using the commander. So let's see part of what we have. Open the git bash, navigate into the local git that has the match conflict, cd to the repository name. So git status, yeah, on branch B you have on merge paths, fuse conflicts, and git commit. Use git add. The local git repository that has the match conflict, cd repository name. Okay, so we have to cd into the repository name. Yeah, we are already there. So after that, git start generate a list of the file affected by the match conflict. In the example, blah 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 as match conflict. So we do git status to see git status. Your branch is up to date with origin master. You have merge paths, fix conflict. So use git add file to mark. So you have on merge paths, fix conflict and run git commit. Use git merge / support to abort the merge. Change to be committed, new files. These are the new files. Use git add the file name to merge resolution. Both modify bash. So let's continue with it. Use git add, okay, both modify, okay, no changes added to commit. So number 4. Open the favorite text such as visual and navigate to the file that has match conflict. To see the beginning of the match conflict in the file, search the file on marker. When you open the file, you have tested the problem. You see the changes from there to next. You see that each. Okay. Oh, we are stuck somewhere here. And we are almost there. You should. Okay, your goal now is to resolve conflict. At the end, you should have all your work from the update streets. New files and 2 updated files. Okay, we're not done. We're not done. On merge paths. Oh, we can't see this. I can't see this. Git commit. Resolve match conflict by incorporating both suggestion. Merge branch C into branch T. To remove this file from the repository. So decide if you want to keep the removed file. You may want to review the latest changes made to it. So add the new file active and repeat add. Okay. OX, okay, yeah. Your goal is to resolve conflict by using the version of the branch of this script and push the result to the origin. Push the results to the origin. Let's see if there's another solution. Okay, for me, I'll watch a video. So let me pause this, and once I rectify it, I'll let you know. Okay, so let's do git status. Images to be committed. ls incoming. Boot modify cd bash. Okay, cd bash and ALX. ls cd fetch cat ALX. So now if you look at it, let's clear our screen. Let's vi ALX. So if you look at our screen, the update screen has echo ALX, while the main has this one. So we're just gonna clear this one. We said we should use the one for the update screen, so we're gonna use this one. Come down and delete. Good. Escape colon WQ, and then do your git branch to know which branch you are. We're on the master, and then git merge now. Git merge update underscore script. It's supposed to be done. Git status. Okay, let's see. ALX. We're done now, right? ls. Let's vi 98. 98 is correct. Escape. I think it's just the ALX. vi school. Yes, they are correct. So what's wrong? ls cd.dot ls git add, I don't know, git add git commit without a commit message. So okay, so it says let's just exit this one and the WQ ls git push. I hope it is done. So let us see now. F5. Let's go to master. We have everything, but we don't have the JS. But let's see if it's if it is done. it is done, then I check some codes. It's not perfect. Okay, details. Content of batch ALX is updated. Okay, content of batch ALX doesn't contain ALX code. It contains, that's what we left it to be, right? ls git merge what's it called, update underscore script. Already up to date, good. Git add, git commit, git push. Yeah, why is it not? Why is it acting up? It's acting weird. Okay, so does not contain, let's just see, ALX code, right? It's supposed to contain ALX, does not contain ALX code. Let's see what's inside ALX. So clear ls cd bash ls vi ALX. It contains ALX code, bro. Right? Should it have these these guys? Let's see. I don't know, maybe it wants it to have this. I'm not sure it's supposed to have this. I'm not sure. Git sorry. Enter the command message for changes now started with hash. With not. What is the last commit we used here? Because this thing is turning my head up, upside down. This is the hotfix. Because I'm tired of not checking these things. Yeah, it should definitely still not be correct because that's not it, right? ALX cool. Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be in small letter. Copy. So let's go back. VIALX sorry, git add. I'm using my hold command. Okay, let's check it out now. Okay, that's the error. Okay, good. So now, never push too much. Create a .gitimo file and define a rule to push own files generated by Emacs. Tips. Really? So, but to inside this place, create a file, copy. So let's clear this one. ls. Are we there? No. cd outside ls. So let's just create a file with touch. Got git ignore, right? GNORE. So GNORE. Okay. So you not see it because it's a dot. So if you just slash LA, you see it dot git ignore. Okay. So you can VI to type into it or Emacs. Right, so you can type into this place. But anyway, create a dog and define a rule to never push this file generated by Emacs, and define a rule. Tips. Let's check. Git ignore. So git ignore specifies intentionally untracked files to ignore. Okay, so git ignore specifies untracked files to ignore. Okay, so the dot git ignore will make it hidden, right? So it specifies untracked files to ignore. A git ignore file specifies intentionally untracked files that Git should ignore. Files already tracked by Git are not affected. See the note below. So each line in a git ignore file specifies a pattern. When deciding whether to ignore a path, Git normally check git ignore pattern from multiple sources with the following order to precedence from highest to lowest, with one level of precedence. The last matching pattern decides the outcome. Pattern reads from the command line for those commands that support them. Pattern reads from a .gitignore file in the same directory as the path or in the same parent directory up to the top level of the directory. With pattern in this blah blah blah, the pattern match relative to the location of the .gitignore file. A project normally includes such .gitignore file in their code containing pattern for files. So this one just seems client matches no files, so it can serve as a separator for readability. So a blank line, a line starting with hashtag starts as a comment. Put a backslash in front of the first hashed pattern that begins with a hash. A trailing space are ignored unless they are quoted in the slash. An optional prefix is this. Okay, I think this one is talking about the bin bash. Okay, so